Welcome to the Rethink Sales Show. My name is Derek Kelly. I am joined by Jim Shorkey. And Jim, you and I love history. So one of the things I found fascinating, that I'm going to make a connection point here, is that in the 1970s, when the Japanese were making televisions, they cut out all the extra burdensome processes and really streamlined their process. And they were making televisions cheaper, at the same quality, and faster than Americans were, because they didn't waste time on all these extra components and processes and things. They just figured out a really efficient way to get it done and get it done well. I was thinking about my car sales experience, not with the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group, but with others. And just, I'm there for hours. It's grueling. They ask nice things, like, can I get a cup of coffee? But most of it's just, let me talk to my manager. Let my manager talk to their manager. I feel like I spent hours. I like that process. I like the going back and forth. I'm sure some people just don't. But it was just I'm thinking from a business point of view, how are these people making any money? It seems like most of the car sales people I've sat with, I'm spending 5-6 hours in the showroom. And one of the questions I asked you, because I was watching the video that you did back from 2010 and doing that throwback, and we relaunched a reaction a few weeks ago of me just watching that live. And one of the thoughts I had after that is, wait a minute. Jim said they don't waste time spending time with you. And I thought, whoa, that's profound. So can we talk more about that piece? You were telling me there's actually a more ideal time to spend with someone in the car buying process.
Let's start with the Japanese. The Japanese have a philosophy, a life philosophy.
Yeah.
And I believe I have this right. I believe it's called Kaizen or Kaizen or something like that. It's a name like that. I don't have it exact. Mm-hmm. But what it translates is constant and never-ending improvement. Mm. That's their constant and never-ending improvement. And so we at the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group tried to do the same thing, to be constantly looking at results. And what can we do to improve our process? Right. What can we do to improve the way we conduct business? And we just kept looking and asking and looking, and we would have meeting after meeting. And what can we do to improve the process? And if we make the process more efficient, number one, the results are going to improve. Remember, results are the name of the game. So the results are going to improve. But also, we can accomplish the same things in less time. So if we talk to 100 clients and we're closing 30% of those people, selling a car 30% of the time, that would mean 30 sold cars. If we can improve our process and get that to 40%, now we've closed 40 deals. Or if we can get it to 50%, and there's limits to how far you can get it, but let's say we got it to 50%. Now we take those same 100 clients and we're closing 50 deals. Yeah. Now, as far as the mechanics of our business, maybe we need to sell a certain number of cars to break even, which, by the way, we do. Yeah. And if we go beyond that number, then we start to make a profit. And how far we go beyond that number, it's called the break-even point, determines whether we're profitable, highly profitable, massively profitable. And so if you go back to that math that I just gave you, is there value in increasing that closing percentage?
Absolutely.
Because we're going to sell more cars and make more money, but we're going to work the same exact amount of time. Is it possible if we get the process good enough that we could spend less time? Because maybe as a salesperson, maybe just to pick a number, let's say again, I don't know the numbers. I truly don't. But let's say the number is, I'm a salesperson. I got to talk to 100 people. Yep. And I'm going to spend an average of 2 hours with each person. So now I'm at 200 hours, okay? And in that process of doing that, I'm going to sell 30 cars. That'd be a really good job. But I got to spend the 200 hours to accomplish that. Yeah. Now, if I got that number up to 40%, what does it make sense if I could cut that down to 80, right? 80 times 40 is 32. I actually increased my sales by 2, but I talk to less customers. So now instead of it's the same, it's 2 hours. Now I'm spending 160 compared to the 200. I've got 40 extra hours. Now with those 40 extra hours, okay, 40 hours, could I take an extra day off a week,
Right.
right? 10 hours a day times 4 is 40. So now I can work less time. I can go for a walk in the park with my children. I can go on that fishing expedition where it involves taking a whole day off. Or I could also say, okay, we can look at it another way. So I'll work the same number of days, but I'm going to take a week off. Or I'm going to plan on taking a 2-week vacation down the road.
Yep.
So now I've got this 2 weeks and I'm selling more cars. Do you see where I'm going?
Yeah. See where you're going.
So the idea is, it's not a question of, I don't know. I don't like that word wasting time. And I probably said that, but I don't like that word because it sounds arrogant.
Yes.
I don't want to feel like that's the mission. The mission is to spend less time. That's a better way of saying it, I think, to spend less time on the job to get the same results. And results are, in fact, the name of the game.
Yeah.
And so the process is the process. Jim Rohn said, things get better when I get better. I took that to heart. And so I worked on my process. I improved my process. And out of that became the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group that we know today. And in the process of constant and never-ending improvement, which is in and of itself a process. So remember, there's a variety of processes. I mean, brushing your teeth is a process. Taking a shower is a process. Your pre-work routine is a process. Tell me your process. Okay, I can tell you that. I get up at a certain time. I want to do some sense of a workout. Okay. I want to do a very good hygiene. Okay. So that would involve brushing my teeth, flossing my teeth, taking a good shower, getting myself real good and clean. I've already done the exercise. I would like to do a reading in the morning, maybe 10 pages, just a go to
Kind of
work
working out
routine.
your mind. Yeah.
I want to leave on time so that I can drive to work without stress. And so I have this, everything's a process, right?
Yep.
Everything's a process. And as I work on improving each one of these processes, my life gets better. But out of this whole thing, and this is something that you're going to be surprised to hear, but this is what happened. We developed this idea called the number one goal of the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group is to love the customer. Yep. And I do mean love them. Figuratively speaking, hug them, kiss them, just really love on them. We love our customers. That is the number one goal of the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group. Because if we don't love our customers, we're not going to have any. So loving the customer is a really important mission. Okay. And everything emanates from that. All the processes emanate from that. And I'm going to walk you through that in a second.
Yeah.
The second number one goal, notice my choice of words, the second number one goal. Wait a second. That's illogical. No, it's not. We have two number one goals. The second number one goal of the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group is to love the team. And I do mean love the team. Hug them, kiss them. Again, figuratively speaking, we want to love on our team. Because if we don't love our team, there's not going to be anybody to love the customers. So think about that. People say the customers are most important. No, they're not. No, they're not. The team is most important. And the customers are most important. They're most important together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Now, when we do number one, love the customer, and number two, love the team really well, we get to sell a lot of cars. We get to get very successful because we develop processes around that mission. So what can we do process-wise to show the customer how much we love them? What can we do process-wise to show the team how much we love them? And when we do those two really well with the right processes, we get to be very successful. We make a lot of money. We get to go on nice trips. We get to do a lot of neat things. We get to be respected and we get trophies and the factories love us. We're very successful. And do you know what the number one enemy of any successful enterprise is?
Oh, I know this one.
Okay.
Arrogance.
Arrogance. It could be a church. It could be a marriage. It could be a business. It could be a football team, a basketball team. The number one enemy of any successful enterprise is arrogance.
Yes.
Okay. And so the third goal of the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group, almost number one, is to keep it very humble. Very humble. And what kind of processes can we create to make that happen? What kind of processes can we create to make loving the customer happen? What kind of processes can we create to make loving the team happen? And what kind of processes can we create to keep it very humble. And so that is what fueled the constant and never-ending improvement. And as we improved on those three ideas, the business just went through the roof. And so when you look at the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group, I would challenge everybody here to Google it. It is incredibly successful. And we serve a lot of great team members.
Yeah.
And we serve a lot of great customers.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep it very humble. Now, you had mentioned in the off camera about the video you saw, the throwback video.
Mm-hmm.
What did you experience when you watched that video?
I experienced two things: joy and like an aha moment of why don't more people do this. So let me talk about the first. The joy was like, it was fun. I mean, there was popcorn, there was cookies, right? There was massage chairs. There was all of that customer experience that was just like, we really want to welcome you.
What does that sound like?
Sounds like loving the customer.
Okay. So I'm at the mall, Christmas time, and they had a massage chair there. And I sat in this massage chair. And I've got love the customer in my brain because I'm so serious about it. So I'm sitting there, I'm in this massage chair. Oh, this is great. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I had this thought. I thought, this would be really cool to have one of these at the dealership. So I forget who sold them. I go down, I'm in the mall. I go down to the place where they sell them. And I said, how much are these massage chairs? And I think it was a couple $1,000s. And he said, whatever it was. And I said, I'll take 3 of them. He about fell over. He thought, who is this jerk? This guy's pulling my chain. He's like looking around like, who sent you in here? Come on. Is there a camera somewhere? And I bought 3. And so we're running this Suzuki dealership.
Yeah.
And we've got massage chairs in the Suzuki customer waiting area. Mm-hmm. And I can guarantee you just about that the Lexus dealer didn't have them.
Yeah. Wow.
And so that's where the popcorn came from. Loving the customer, the cookies. And you heard the team talk on that video.
That's right.
What'd they say?
They said, we want people to, I heard Katie say it. I remember exactly what she said. We want to know that when you come in that you're truly family and we really care. She said that.
What did the customer say?
The customer, the one couple at the end kissed.
Yeah. Saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, we just feel like family here. We feel like family. We've bought 3 cars, or we feel like family. We've bought 10 cars. We feel like family. I love coming up here. The guy in the back, Bill, he treats me like because we pounded that message into each team member's head, and we delivered on it.
Yeah.
And a guy told me a long time ago, very wise, very prudent advice. He said, Jim, never market good service if you're not willing to provide good service. That will blow up in your face every time because they'll say, wait a second, aren't you the guy that said we're at your service? I don't feel like you're at my service. They'll throw it up in your face.
Right, yeah.
Really, what a great day was another underlying theme of the whole thing. And when you say that, you better mean it and you better deliver on it and you better live it.
Yeah.
Because it'll work against you. When the customer is having a bad day because of your idiotic processes, they're going to say, Jim, I've been here for 2 hours now.
Yeah.
And it ain't such a great day.
Right. Yeah.
And they're going to throw it right back up at you. It makes it worse.
Yeah.
You're better off to say, you know what? Come on out of here. It's going to take you 2 or 3 hours and we aren't very good at what we do and it's going to be terrible and we suck. At least you'll live up to the customer's expectations. And I'm exaggerating. But when you watch that video, and anybody can watch it, what is it? Is it Results from Thinking?
Yeah, it's on our YouTube channel.
Tune in and watch. What you'll see is you'll see loving the customer and the customer's experience with that. Mm-hmm. You'll see loving the team and the team's experience with that. And you'll get a sense of, Katie's my daughter. Mm-hmm. Katie owns the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group.
That's right.
She and her 3 brothers and my brother, they own the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group.
Yes.
Did you sense her degree of humbleness?
Yeah. And
am I right?
I imagine that's even more true now. Like
you witnessed the team,
Yeah.
You witness the customers, and you witness the humbleness. And so I'm so proud of this. This is our 50th year. My dad started this business in 1974. So it's our 50th year. And I did a video, and you can find it probably at the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group.
Yeah.
And I cried. I was so proud of the team members and the way they talked about the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group and how much the leadership team made them feel like family. Like we've never, ever felt this way before. The one guy, by the way, in the video you were talking to me, he said, if Jim Shorkey sold donkeys, I'll be here buying one. And he was serious. Jokingly, but seriously, he doesn't care what Jim Shorkey sells. I love these people
That's
that much.
such a testament to just the character
testimonial.
and the heart.
Yeah. So out of that mission of loving the customer and loving the team and keeping it very humble, that becomes the goal to do that. Now, how do we get there? And that's where the processes come into play.
Yeah.
And when we see that the process is not efficient, then we do a pivot. And the Japanese idea of constant and never-ending improvement, that is the Jim Shorkey motto.
Yeah.
What can we do to make it a better customer experience?
Yeah.
What can we do to make it a better team member experience to where I used to say this, and this was me talking, but I used to say this, I love the car business. Okay, I love it. I still do. I'm retired. I'm an old, worn-out car salesman, but I used to go to work to play.
Yeah.
I went to work to play.
Yeah.
I just had so much fun in the car business. I love selling cars. I love the customers. I told you about finding people out in the parking lot that have the Jim Shorkey license plate frame on it. And
Greeting them.
I stop every time and say, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Just thank you. The attitude of gratitude. That's my idea behind constant and never-ending improvement.
So good.
And it worked.
Yeah, and it worked. Thank you, Jim. Such a just true story, a heartwarming story, and you can just hear it through everything about. Like I said at the end, you asked me, what did I take from that video? The joy piece, but also just the reality of like, why don't more people treat the customer this way?
Yeah, I can't answer that, but I can tell you this, that when you're selling something, anything, selling is nothing more than a transfer of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And when you watch that particular video, the throwback video, you'll sense the level of enthusiasm about the customer and about the team.
Yeah.
And about the lack of arrogance. And the one conversation that I had the most was the one about the arrogance, because I would sense somebody getting arrogant and I say, hey, whoa, let's go have a conversation. Now, this is not going to work for me. In essence, you either lose the arrogance or you lose your job.
Yep.
We're not going to treat people like this. The way you talk to Johnny over there, Sarah over here, the way you did that is not acceptable. We're not going to do that.
Yeah. And
the way you treated this customer, they called you 5 times, you never returned a call. Not acceptable. That's arrogance.
Yeah.
That's not knowing, that's not having a lack of understanding about what your job is. Everybody knows they're supposed to call the customer back.
Yeah.
When you don't call a customer back, you're arrogant, and it just boils them. They hate it. So we got to call people back. That's just part of the deal.
Yeah.
We got to call them back as soon as we possibly can. And if it's going to be delayed, send them a text. Say, I'm in the middle of this, that, and everything. I'll call you on Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully that's okay. If you'd like, I can have one of my team members call you back. I'm sorry I'm not available, etc. Communication.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, arrogance means I am better than you. Arrogance means you don't matter. Arrogance means I don't give a crap. We're not going to put up with that at the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group. We're just not putting up with it. No. I had a conversation with a guy the other day, and they were talking about acquiring dealerships. And one of the viewpoints was, when you acquire a dealership, his opinion was, you go in and you fire all the employees. Huh. I'm like, what? I wrote a comment about it. I said, these are real people with real lives and real significant others and real issues and real bills and real everything. We're just going to fire everybody randomly? Right. So what kind of message are you sending to your team when you do crap like that and your customers? And I said, the team is like firing the customer base that you're buying as part of this acquisition.
Yeah.
Nobody would do that. What are you thinking? Oh, we're the new sheriff in town and you're our customer base, but we do business differently, so we're just going to get rid of you guys. We're going to get our own customers. Right. And we're going to get rid of the whole team and get our own team. There could be some people on that team that do need to go once we introduce what it is we want to do. And if they're not going to cooperate, then, of course, they got to go, just like I just said. Yeah. That's not arrogance. Right. You're being mean to this team member. You're being mean to this customer. You're being disrespectful to this customer. This isn't acceptable. Either fix it or you're out of here. And that's the same way I would approach acquiring a dealership. I would talk to the team, and I would have a discussion about what it is that we expect. And that might cause some people to quit, but most of them will not. and then we'll train them on our processes. How can we fire people? We haven't even trained them on what we want them to do. That has got to be one of the most disrespectful statements I've ever heard. And if I find out that my children are doing crap like that, they're going to have a conversation with Jim Shorkey. And they're not, by the way. They're so respectful.
They don't think that way.
These are real people.
Yeah.
We don't treat people like that at the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group. We just don't. We don't.
They're
we
not,
don't. We
they're
treat
not
our
numbers or cattle to be moved around.
The janitor and the general manager get treated the same way with respect and dignity. And granted, the lady that's the general manager is really doing a very important job, but that doesn't mean we disrespect the janitor. We're just not going to do that. We're going to be inclusive. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Jim, thank you for just going into that heartwarming story and talking about just why it is so important to take care of the team, take care of the customer. Guys, please leave us a subscribe on YouTube. That really helps us get this message out to more people. It's completely free to you. It doesn't cost you anything. And go ahead and check out our discipline journal. We include it in every video we do to make sure you have hands on it. It's a tool that we use to track our habits, to track our disciplines, and to keep track of how we're doing. And it's helped so many of us and so many of those who've gone through Rethink You 2.0 to improve so they can live out their mission.
Constant and never-ending improvement.
So, Jim,
it's real.
Thank you.
My pleasure.